There's definitely some a little bit more, fast stuff, technical stuff going on, kind of going into the thrash and even I dare I say death metal territory and a couple of the tunes, and just trying to push it. I think we're all just excited. It's been so long since we made a record, so I think everybody had kind of a little bit of fire under their asses, you know.
It's always a pleasure to be hanging out with Joel from Killswitch Engage, another ghostcultmag.com interview. How are you doing, Joel?
I'm doing well, man. Doing
You
well.
you're always very positive and upbeat. And there's a lot of people who are just they're not fun to talk to. And you're always I met you a few times. We interviewed once a long time ago. Like you're always very I love the PMA, man.
Right on, man. I'll try to stay positive. Everything's going good.
Well, the one, as Jesse would say about the consequence, we're going to get through it. The world is in trouble, but we're going to get through it. So we need more upbeat, hopeful people. It's a tough time.
Absolutely.
And of course, we're here to talk today about This Consequence, the brand new album from Killswitch Engage, very highly anticipated. I think personally, another banger from Metal Blade, and your newish relationship with Metal Blade still like it feels new. It's really like six, seven years.
It's been a while at this point. Yeah. We're long overdue for a new one. So excited to unleash it to the wild,
Right. Well, no pun intended, unleashed. That was the last one. But I think it's important for a band. We just celebrated 25 years. We were at the Palladium for Metal Fest. And, like I said, I have lived in Boston for a long time. Before I was a resident of the Boston area, I visited a lot. I saw Overcast shows, and I saw some of the first Killswitch shows. And then again later on, and watched you guys I was at the World of Blaze video shoot, and I was saw you guys open for Motorhead at the House of Blues.
Nice,
It was nuts, actually.
Been with us for a long time.
Yeah, I think so. But what I was going to say is, for you having this, just passed a huge milestone and several milestones in the history of the band in 2024, it has to stay fresh for you guys. Right? You have to keep wanting to break new ground. You could keep doing the same stuff. It always sounds like Killswitch, but like every record, I love that it's like identifiably different. You're trying new things. I would say right off the back, this whole thing is a riff fest. It is some incredible guitar riffs that took me back to the beginning of the band. And I'm going to say it's absolutely Jesse's hardest record vocally, and it's maybe Justin's most technical record on drums.
For sure, man. For sure. There's definitely some a little bit more, fast stuff, technical stuff going on, kind of going into the thrash and even I dare I say death metal territory and a couple of the tunes, and just trying to push it. I think we're all just excited. It's been so long since we made a record, so I think everybody had kind of a little bit of fire under their asses, So,
yes, maybe. It feels like a very urgent, passionate record, and obviously, whenever you listen, I get very pumped up and feeling good listening to Jesse and his lyrics, but like it's a very aggressive. If anybody thought this was going to be a record of Love Hurts by Nazareth, this ain't it, yo. This is brutal. It's so brutal.
It's definitely brutal, and I mean it has its melodic moments, a couple melodic songs, but I think the majority of the tunes are pretty aggressive. So
yeah, right on. There's definitely a couple of choruses where like the music threw me. I was like, is this the chorus? Because I hear like blast beats and crazy, like even you said death metal. It was like, this is like some technical black and progressive metal that I don't, like we always know the good hardcore and metalcore shit from and the Swede death influence on all of American metalcore lives in Killswitch. But like, oh man, like I said, I think this is gonna catch some people off guard at how hard this goes.
It may. I hope it does. It's trying to keep it Killswitch, but do something a little different too.
Right on. When you personally get ready to do a record, like let's just take it back for a second. Okay, we finished the tour cycle. We know we're going to start working on a record. What's that like? I don't think I've ever asked this to anybody in the band. What's that like for you? Do you come in with ideas? Do you say, hey, I got a riff for that song you made? How collaborative are we talking between you and the guys?
It's pretty cool because I think everybody in the band writes riffs and songs and stuff like that, which is great. And it's so everybody contributes, which is really nice. And a lot of the time, like I say, probably Justin and Adam are the two guys that kind of like they have a vision for their songs. They usually write complete songs, and they're pretty much ready to go. We just tweak the arrangements a little bit, and I think Mike and I more like to jam in the room with everybody and kind of help. I need a little help finishing my songs and stuff like that. I think Mike's the same way. But it was kind of we did kind of a combination of that, both things on this record. So a lot of the songs are written ahead of time. Hey, here, what do you guys think of this one? Let's demo it out. And then, for a couple of weeks here and there, we rented a space where we could all jam together. And so some of the songs are put together like the old days, just us standing in the room. And then so it's a combination on this record, which is kind of cool. And I think that's part of the reason it sounds a little different than our last couple records.
Yeah. I agree. It's a very varied record. I think there are definitely some records in the past, like this sounds like a Joel record, or this sounds like an Adam song. But like, I really feel like you can hear the melting pot of everybody.
Yeah, it's a little bit more of I think it's a little more of a roller coaster ride than the last one. You can hear everybody's influence on there, and the songs are up and down. And we were just trying to put it together so it'd be a fun record to listen to from top to bottom. And let's try to get a good track listing where you don't have to skip any tunes, So
right on, yeah. Of course, there are no skips on here. Believe it.
Right on. It's good to hear.
And I feel honestly like I'm still a record listener, an album, a vinyl listener. I grew up that way. I'm still that way. I was that way before. I listened to a promo several times before we chat. I go back and listen to the hits and my favorite records. So, and, like I said, we just had, and Heartache just hit 20, and I always go back to that one, of course, but like, Live and Just Breathing, I go back to those again and again. I actually I totally ate shit. I tried to do Fixation on the Darkness at karaoke, and I was like, nope. I was like, nope. I can't do it. I did do End of Heartache, but I couldn't do Fixation. I was like, no, too hard.
Fair enough, man. Yeah.
I tried. I really tried. But
I can't sing any of them. I don't know how those guys
No, I know, man. You just hold down your
riffs.
That's it. You just slay the riffs. You hold down your corner of the stage. When you come into the studio, I know Adam's like, legendary, prodigiously, pre-production and stuff like that. But like for you, how quick does it take you to dial in your sound? Do you experiment at all? Or you're like, I know what I want to sound like this record, and I'm going to go for this.
Yeah, I mean, Adam and I always have our go-to amps that we go back. Like, let's use this as a starting point. Like, it's a 5150 or a Soldano, a KSR. Those are all kind of our favorite amps, and we're like, let's set these up for rhythm tones and see what we get. And we always go back and forth. But from the time we start to the time we finish, we DI everything, so we don't have to commit. We can reamp it after, but we always kind of dial in a similar starting point sound and then fine tune it from there,
Right on. And I always feel like your lead sound is always so very distinctive. I can pick it out pretty easily. And it's interesting. I think we're coming into an interesting era where I still love a good guitar solo, and I think they bring something. They elevate a song when they're awesome. And maybe because of like the new modern hardcore is a big deal, and they're like more nu metal influence than the stuff we listened to in the 90s.
Yeah.
And so they're not wailing as much occasionally. But so like I think like solos in 2025 are going to be like a breath of fresh air.
Yeah. We've never been a band that's like, okay, we have to set aside a section for the guitar solo. It's kind of like song by song. It's most of our records have maybe a song or two with a solo on them, but it's not really never a priority. If we can't figure something out, like, what do we do with this song? What do we do with this bridge? What do we do with this part? It's like, hey, try a guitar solo, and if it lifts the song, it belongs there, and if it doesn't, it's out.
I'm trying to think if you guys ever did a Slayer or a Metallica, like a rhythm guitar solo. Like we're just gonna throw a whole bunch of riff salad here and see if it works. Once in a while, I think maybe once or twice ever. Not really.
Yeah, not so much for us, but that's a cool approach too, man.
Really is. It worked for them. It worked for Slayer, man. I mean, like, it worked for the best.
Absolutely.
Worked for the best of the best. So if it works for you, sometimes it works, man. Sometimes just a lot of rhythm guitar and nothing else.
That's okay.
This record's so killer, and there's so many good songs. I definitely wanted to pull out Broken Glass. I can't. It's very rare when a band surprises you. Like it's like, oh, they really went for something completely different. It's like sludgy. It's like doom metal. It's got an Alice in Chains vocal thing.
Yeah. Yep.
I was like, wow, they really went to expand this.
Yeah. That was one of Justin's songs he wrote for this record. And when we first heard the demo, we're like, man, that's totally different. That's really cool. Because it's got kind of had this Gojira meets Alice in Chains thing going on, and I love what Jesse and Adam did with the vocals and stuff like that. So that one's different, very different for us.
Yeah, oh, absolutely. Great
Mm.
call out. You just helped me right there. Go Jared meets Alice in Chains. That's perfect. You have probably
Yeah,
missed your calling as a writer.
two
And
bands, two bands we love very much. So
how could yeah, of course, how
yeah.
could you not?
Mm-hmm.
Definitely Chains is in the top five for me and Gojira for sure.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, you called it. It almost like vocally, in addition to Alice in Chains, I got like a little Times of Grace in there too. So it's kind of
Oh, for
cool to
sure,
see
man.
all the different things come in. And everybody should go check out Justin's other band, Libica, if you like
Mm-hmm.
cats and progressive metal.
Those
Uh,
guys are amazing, man.
so
Killer band.
fun. I saw
Yeah.
them play live before I ever heard them put out a release, and I was
Mm-hmm.
just like,
Yeah,
uh,
amazing
uh,
band.
so
Amazing band.
good. And so that's cool to hear that he brings a lot of stuff to the
Mhm.
table beside
Justin
behind the
writes a
kit.
lot. He writes a lot of riffs and stuff, and he's big part of the last several records are in Justin songs.
Word. Bring it in
Really
for the
cool.
bring it in respect for the ball guys in the back of the
Absolutely,
stage. Um
absolutely.
no longer the long haired, but yeah, he's definitely like a lot of people are gonna be like I think he's gonna get like drum awards and shit for this record for real.
Awesome, man. Yeah, he kills it on this one. He's really playing his ass off.
Yeah, so good, man. And yeah, always like I said, Adam's production lets
Mm-hmm.
everybody kind of have their moment.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, Broken Glass is a song I know I listened to like several times and I was just like, I gotta rewind it. I gotta rewind it. I
Nice.
gotta
It's
rewind
a
it.
short one. It's a short
It's
one.
not that long, but it's impactful. And then did you have so far a favorite song? I know there's been a couple of singles. We'll probably get some of this stuff live on tour.
It's hard to say. I really like the song "Collusion," which is a fun song. I think we're going to be releasing a video for that one in the near future. That's a fun one to play, and it's one of Adam D's songs. One of my favorite songs of Adam's on this record. So
Right. Yeah,
excited for that. Excited for that one. It's got a little bit of everything we do in there.
yeah, got a little thrashy.
Melodic stuff. Got the
Yeah.
thrashy riffs. Got the kind of breakdowny riffs. A little bit of everything. So I think that's a good for me. That's like a good baseline song. Kind of like
Oh,
what the record's like.
indeed, indeed. And Where It Dies is another track that I had noted. I was like, "Oh my God, this song!" Like, I think
Yeah.
I think when I heard Broken Glass, I said like "wow" out loud, like a Owen Wilson "wow," like like wow.
Nice.
And then when I heard Where It Dies, I did like a Christopher Walken, like "Well, man," like
Nice.
a Jay Costa special right there with the
Mhm.
walk-in.
Mhm.
But yeah, man, like it's wild. That song's also like very classic Killswitch sound.
Right on. Right on, man.
So it's cool, man. You keep pushing yourselves and keep surprising yourselves and
Yeah.
surprising us. And I think the fans are going to come along. I do feel like you guys have, built up such a following that you can take risks and try
Mhm.
different things, and the fans
Mhm.
will go with it. Even if
Mhm.
like you said, the last record was a little more straightforward. This one's much more
Mhm.
diverse. And I think the fans are cool with it. And I think it's, obviously you want to keep it, like I said, at the top, interesting for you, but also like, you want to throw the fans a curveball, but not too much of a curveball.
Exactly. He's like, we didn't want it to not sound like a Killswitch record, but it's hey, we're kind of jamming on some stuff here. Let's try something a little bit different. Not too different, but like I said, it's definitely some harder elements on this one that we're all kind of excited about just to see how it goes. I think some of these songs are going to be really fun to play live. So
Oh,
looking forward to getting on stage with a new batch of songs.
yeah, I'm sure after all this time, it becomes very challenging to put together a set list and incorporate new
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah, we're getting old. We got a lot of records now, so it's it's tough to pick a set list sometimes.
The reward for all the good work is harder work.
Mm, indeed.
And I was speaking of touring. We're getting a lot of tour announcements. I love you guys are going to go out with Shadows Fall.
Yeah,
I
can't
do
wait for that.
feel like it's kind of a fun time where we have like this comeback of some of the semi-retired American metal bands from 20 years ago. It's almost time for one of those Headbangers Balls tours. Just feels
Be
like
awesome, man.
if
Yeah,
you
for
could
sure,
if you could get together Shads and our buddies, and God forbid
for
we're
sure.
close with
Yeah.
those guys, and Unearth just put out a killer record last year,
Mhm.
so
Yeah,
there's your band, there's your tour right there
right
booking.
there, man. All old buddies. I was excited to go out with the Shads guys. Like John and Matt are pretty much my neighbors. Those guys are dear friends for a long time, and John lives right on the next street, and Matt's right across town. So they're good buds. See them
Oh,
all
they're
the time.
such good guys. Johnny
Yep.
Guitar, we love that dude.
Yep.
And I'm excited. I heard that I love that new Shadows Fall song, and
Yep.
I'm ready for an EP, an album, whatever they want to
Hmm.
give us. I'll take
Yeah,
it.
the new tune's ripping, man. I'm psyched for those guys.
Yeah, so good.
Really, really good.
So good. And it feels like, yeah, it feels like a generation has grown up on this music. And I'll throw in your Lamb of Gods and other bands like that, and
Mm-hmm.
Gojira, Pierce,
Mm-hmm.
right? Bands since the year 2000. So it's wild. Like, it
Mm-hmm.
feels like, oh, it was 10 years ago, but it's 25 years ago.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, long
I
time.
think about the first time I heard V-Day Infra, and I was like, what's this new band doing? And again,
Yeah.
I had just started being a regular visitor to Mass, and I lived there from 2005 to 2015. So the golden era is really when I overlapped with y'all. So, always a very proud thing. And I wanted to share a fun story with you and see if this resonates with you. I have
Mm-hmm.
a fun memory of seeing the band back in New York after I had moved up. And,
Mm-hmm.
and a Heartache comes out, blows up, World Ablaze, all that stuff. And so I think it's like right after that, and I came down to New York to see you guys, and I think it was either opening for someone at Hammerstein or headlining Roseland that was still there, unfortunately gone. But
Yeah.
your parents were there, and
Yep.
we were waiting to hang out with the band,
Yep.
and your parents came down, and they
Mm-hmm.
were wonderful and
Mm-hmm.
really lovely and supportive. And I talked to your folks for a minute,
Mm-hmm.
and I was like, I'm a person, I played music for a long time, and I'm a journalist now, so not very super successfully, but enough. And
Mm-hmm.
I was always very fortunate. My mom backed me all the way, like, do your thing. If you love
Mm-hmm.
rock, do your thing. She didn't really get to see me do all the bars and clubs, but she
Mm-hmm.
was proud of me. And your folks were just gushing about having seen you on this big stage. And I was like, man, that is so many friends of mine try to do music and their family was like, nope. And
Yep.
your folks really, supported you. So I hope, first, I hope they're still around. And
They're still
secondly,
around. Yeah, they're doing good.
thank goodness.
Yep.
And I wanted to talk, that memory sticks with me,
Mm-hmm.
how sweet they were and how much they were proud of you. It was amazing.
Yeah, they're wonderful folks. They've come out to any show that's within a couple hours from their home base. They always want to come out, and it's awesome. I think when we first started the band, we were rehearsing at their place, obviously, and like wine glasses falling off walls and things breaking at first, and like, you guys got to turn it down. This is crazy. It's so loud. And then after a few months, instead of getting yelled at, my dad would be like, "Hey, what was that third song you guys played? I really liked that one." They started to kind of like be really supportive. It happened pretty quick. I think they saw that we were really trying to do something cool, and like, and they started supporting like really, really early on, coming out to shows, and they've always been wonderful about said letting us play there and being very patient with us and taking over the house. So
Yeah, how about that?
they're the best, man. Couldn't have
They,
better folks.
so nice, so nice. That stayed with me till now, like,
Mm-hmm.
15 plus years ago.
Amazing.
And they are amazing,
Mm-hmm.
and they made an amazing guy over there that plays in Killswitch Engage. Was your mom like the band mom also? Did she like
Oh
bring
yeah, she's
snacks and
totally
food?
makes everybody cookies and you know
Oh, that's the
spaghetti
best.
sauce and meatballs and cookies and all kinds. She's always making good stuff for us to bring on tour and all that. So
It's like Goodfellas when they show up at the guy's mom's house.
mm-hmm. Yep,
Oh, this is
indeed.
delicious. Thank you.
Yep.
4 in the morning having pasta and meatballs and
Mm-hmm.
garlic. Yeah, man, just that was a real I was saving that one for this moment. So I'm glad I
Nice.
got to
Yep.
share that. Thank
Yep.
you.
Got an
Thank you.
awesome metal mom, awesome metal dad. So
Yeah, that's amazing, man. And everybody should be so lucky for real, because
mm-hmm.
a lot of, like I said, a lot of my friends tried to do music and their families were like, why are you bothering? It sucks. It's hard. And
Mm-hmm.
your folks said it's possible. Go for it. I love that.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just
Yep.
like
It's
mine.
amazing. Very
Good stuff.
lucky.
Yeah, good stuff, man. Hey, Joel, man, always again a pleasure to see you. I can't wait to see you guys out on the road. I need everybody to go listen to this record. We're gonna probably do a lot of a lot of stuff, video reviews and album
Awesome,
reviews
man.
on the website around this record. Like I said, one of our anticipated ones for the year. So you go do your
Awesome.
thing. You be safe on the road, and
Right on.
we'll keep coming to the shows. You keep coming back.
Thanks so much, man. Really nice talking to you.
Always. Thanks, brother. We'll see you
All right.
soon.
Have a nice weekend.
You too. Thank you.